And we're live. Good afternoon, everyone. Emanating live from the Radio Laurier studio on the Wilfrid Laurier Waterloo campus in the heart of Waterloo region. My name's Ian Bailey. I'm joined by Zach, one of our other sports team members. This is Gold and Bold, the voice of Laurier sports. We cover Laurier sports, we cover local sports, we cover professional sports. We cover all the happenings going on in the sports world. Glad you can join us, or you just kind of listen on the radio and my voice popped up. Hope you don't go anywhere. This is, again, Gold and Bold, Laurier Sports, and we'll get right into it. Laurier Sports, the athletic department, in action last night for women's hockey. The only game, home game. Of course, men's hockey played last night too, but women's hockey was a home game at the rec complex. I got to call that game, and it's about 14, 15 hours removed from heartbreak for the Laurier Golden Hawks. Zach, it was tied 1-1. Both teams scored in the first period, second period goalless.
Yeah.
Going into third period, 15 seconds left in the third period. The Battle Waterloo Warriors scored.
Oh, damn.
Regulation loss. Everyone was gearing up for overtime. It was a tight, contested game. I was ready for my overtime intro spiel. I was getting it all ready in my head. And then it was a point, just like a wrister on the ground point shot and deflected. It was good deflection, but heartbreak for the bench. It was a good crowd last night too, and I'm sure they did not go home happy. It's a loss for the women's hockey team. But if you're following Laurier sports, the women's hockey team's really been the only team that's been consistently good. They're the only really of the four major OUA sports still going on: women's hockey, men's hockey, women's basketball, men's basketball. Right. Women's hockey is the only one above the playoff line. So if you're looking for playoff Golden Hawks, keep up with the women's hockey. Because even with that loss last night, they're still above the playoff line. They're still more or less comfortably in fourth in the OUA West Division. And the Warriors, with the win last night, extend their lead on top of the West Division. But Laurier comfortably, and if the season finishes along the trend line, you should see at least a couple playoff games from the women's hockey team. You can't say that for the men's hockey team. Of course, they did start off 2025 with a win last week. That was a Friday night game.
Right,
but then you were there for the Saturday night game last week.
Yeah, I called that game.
And what was the outcome there?
That was actually a pretty entertaining game. Of course, losing by a goal. But, Lakehead had about... this is not even exaggeration, 9 penalties in that game. And then we had 2 5-on-3s, and we did not score once. It was tragic. But
that's a Shakespearean tragedy.
Yeah, horrible. But I think Laurier did also have 6 penalties too.
One of those games.
Yeah, it was some pretty tight officiating. It was just one way to call it. But I don't know. When I'm watching the men's hockey team, one thing I kind of feel bad about is that them having was it 4-15 on the year now? Yeah. It's not due to their effort. You can see that they're every game they're scratching and clawing, whether it's their first game or their last game when they're 15 games under 500. They're playing really hard. It's just sometimes it's not your year, and that's okay. But you're establishing a good culture for your program, and going forward, going into next season, it's a good thing to see.
Yes.
That even when you're down, you're still fighting hard for coach, for your teammates, for your own spot on the roster.
Barring any miracles on ice to end the season, an unprecedented winning streak. This men's hockey team's firmly not even just below the playoff line; they're firmly below the wild card race. They're last in their division, I think second last overall. They've got a record of 4-13-3, and it was last year's men's hockey team. They were a playoff team. They actually won, and they got to the play-in round of the playoffs, and they beat Nipissing, the Lakers, in overtime thriller, and got into the first round. Eventually, I think bowing out to UFT. But to go from a solid playoff team last year to just a very subpar, very unsuccessful, frankly, team this year. It's not all doom and gloom, of course, as you mentioned. Even if you are losing, these are close games. You see their effort. It's not like they're trying. It's not like they're a badly structured, organized team. The results just aren't going this way. But again, kind of that tooth and nail grit from the Golden Hawks is a great kind of culture to instill. Of course, for both hockey teams, women's hockey teams, they're looking with their eyes on the postseason. Men's hockey team, they're looking eyes on, firmly out of it. So they're looking eyes on more development in that culture and locker room building. Switching gears to our basketball teams, of course, the men's basketball and women's basketball teams, both in action tonight and tomorrow. Both of them got doubleheaders against the visiting Algoma. I think it's Thunderbirds.
Algoma?
Algoma. You know where Algoma is, Zach?
I don't actually.
I think it's up north somewhere. If I was more
Sault Ste. Marie.
Sault Ste. Marie.
Sault Ste. Marie.
If I was more,
my bad.
More of an astute OUA sports.
Yeah, what's their mascot?
What is their mascot? That's good.
Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt. So is it Thunderbirds?
Boomer the
or is it Thunderbolts?
Hold on.
We will never know.
Yeah, Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds. All right, I was right.
Algoma Thunderbirds.
They play tonight and tomorrow night again at home. Algoma's visiting at home for the Laurier Golden Hawks. That's an athletic complex on campus. So if you want to catch some basketball, it's kind of a two for a price of one. The women's basketball team plays first, and then followed up by the men's basketball team each night. Of course, men's basketball and women's basketball, they have twin schedules. They also have twin records. Both teams 4-8, which is interesting. And Algoma's teams are also very close in record too. Their men's basketball team is winless on the year. They're 0-11.
Oh, yikes!
That's me on a Friday night. And the women's basketball team is 1-10. So 0-11 for the men's, 1-10 for the women's. So not a good year if you're an Algoma Thunderbirds fan. But again, Golden Hawks too have had their struggles, 4-8. They're at 250, and it's not been a strong year for either of the teams. And it's not to say they don't have any strong players. Tay Donald for the men's basketball team has really been carrying the team on his shoulders, and for the women's, it's Kate White and Cassidy Hurdle really driving most of that play. But the auxiliary offense and the supporting cast has had their struggles, and when that offense doesn't channel through your one or two star players, it seems like they're not getting anything done. And if the opposing team's defense has the book on your star player, it's over before it begins for the Golden Hawks. But yes, both basketball teams play tonight and tomorrow. You're calling one of those games.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one.
One of them. There's four of them, so pick. Show up at one of them.
I'll check the schedule.
Yeah,
check the schedule.
We shall see. Elsewhere, I was going to say, not much going on for Golden Hawk sports. However, the curling team is doing quite well. The women's curling team especially, I think, won the McMaster tournament last week.
Yeah.
So shout-outs to them. I'm trying to load more Golden Hawk
Have you ever
sports.
dabbled in curling?
I've wanted to.
Yeah.
I've had family members. My grandmother curled for a while. My older brother, I think before I was born, did some curling too. And it looks like kind of my speed.
Yeah.
And I think my great uncle and his wife, they've been curlers for years. Like they're one of those like typical curling club people. And I'm like, it looks fun. It doesn't look that challenging either. I don't want to discredit.
I think it looks challenging.
Does it?
Like to me.
Like I watch it on TV and you see all, like Howard and, all those.
Don't
great
underestimate
curlers.
the pebbled ice, man.
I know,
Don't
right?
underestimate.
But it's just like, it looks fun. It's kind of satisfying too. And watching the Scotties and all that.
Yeah, I'd love to be the sweeping.
The sweeper,
Yeah, the sweeper, yeah. The one actually throwing the rock, that looks a little hard.
It's weird. I don't know if I could be able to kneel that long.
Yeah, and the rock looks heavy too.
Yeah, I think they are heavy. I think they're heavier than I knew how much they weighed at one point, but yeah, they are quite heavy. Nonetheless, athletes of the week for the Golden Hawks. Emery Maltby gets the nod of the women's hockey team, which is quite a good nod as going into last night's game. Didn't score last night, but she had 3 goals in her previous 2 games, including overtime winner. So shout out Emery Maltby, who is her second year. And last year she was a rookie, and I did a lot of women's hockey last year, and she was one of the standouts on that team. So it's nice to see her kind of take the extra step. This year she's been, the ones I always kind of call out. So it's good to see my opinions vindicated via Athlete of the Week. And then other Athlete of the Week was Nathan Virgin, the men's basketball team. who had a strong showing, and he's I think he's his first year.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I've called a couple of their games, and when he is a strong player, he's a strong rookie player. So a good shout for Nathan Virgin, as those are our two athletes of the week. Turning our attention to a more professional sports here. Talk of the sports world, it's NFL playoffs. And Zach, what's your report on the previous wildcard rounds this past weekend?
Yeah, big wild card round. There've been 6 games. I guess we can go game by game, right?
Go for it.
All right, so we'll start off in the AFC. Texans, Chargers. Pretty complete day for the Texans there. CJ Stroud had a great game, about 280 yards, I believe. And Nico Collins, his number 1 wide receiver, had himself a day too. He caught a touchdown. And Joe Mixon, he also went off. So great overall day for the offense for the Texans, but for the Chargers, not so much. Justin Herbert, who's usually really rock solid, had, I think, 4 picks, and 2 of them were from Derek Stingley.
Wow.
And 1 from Kamari Lassiter. And I think that's just what happens when you throw the run game out the window too early and you just start slinging the ball all over the field.
Start hucking it.
Yeah, they started chucking for some reason, and obviously even when you have like a quarterback that's the caliber of Justin Herbert, like it's just not gonna go well for you, especially for a team that's like heavily self-identified by their run, and against a young secondary in the Texans that's very disciplined and young and has a lot of talent, like Stingley. He's been like emerging as a top cornerback in the league, so I think this is a game he can really plant his flag on for next year. And next up we have the Ravens Steelers. Lamar Jackson did Lamar Jackson things. Steelers defense, they look just pretty helpless from the get-go. There was no real chance there. They were just getting picked apart. Yeah, yikes.
The yikes indeed. Lamar Jackson, throwing for 175 yards there, and you kind of expected that outcome. The next up, it's the Bills and Broncos, and that's the one I kind of watch because, of course, I'm a Bills fan, being the closest geographic.
Yeah.
So a lot of Ontario people are Bills fans, and I think they got 31 points in a row after going down 7-0 against the Broncos. And after that first drive from the Broncos, it was just all Bills.
Yeah. Bo Nix, you've had a good rookie season, but you're going against
Josh Allen.
What are you going against Josh Allen? Like, this is a high octane offense. This is like a team that's been together for a long time, and their windows, I don't want to say closing, but they're on the back end of their window, and they're hungry. They want it, and they've looked really good this year. So there's no real surprise here either, even though Denver had a commendable season. Switching over to the NFC, we had a pretty close game here with the Commanders and Bucks. Jaden Daniels in his rookie season, he's looked like a stud, man. I don't know, like a lot of people already have him in like their top 10.
Yeah.
Sometimes even like top 7, 6 quarterbacks in the league. And I'm not going to lie, some people say, oh, it's too early, but I see it. He's been making winning plays with his arm and with his legs. He's looked like a great leader on the field. And especially late into the season, I think I watched the game and they went to overtime with Atlanta. And he both went on a drive to win the game, and he also went on a drive before the end of regulation to tie the game.
Man.
And he looked like a veteran. He looked so poised with the ball. Like every decision he made like turned to gold. And if you need a score, he will do like the absolute most to get it. And he's going to be a stud in the league for a long time. I'm happy the Commanders got their playoff win, and now they play the Lions, so it's coming to an end.
Yeah, I was going to say. Lions have been my other team. I'm in a complete bandwagon early on in the season.
Understandable.
So one of my friends got me on the Lions. I'm like, I can't jump off now. The Lions have an incredible season.
Incredible,
and
absolutely.
It's wild. But Jaden Daniels, not bad for his playoff debut. Of course, is the first Commanders playoff win since 2005.
Yeah, good for
and
them.
Daniels is the first rookie quarterback to win a road playoff game since from 13 years since 2012. So kudos to him, but he is up against the Lions.
Yeah.
So we're not too optimistic about their chances, but stranger things have occurred. Also, touch on Eagles over the Packers 22-10. What's your opinion on that outcome?
For those who don't know, listening, I'm a big Packer fan here, and rough game. Like, the thing is, both teams played a really ugly game. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the Eagles didn't have a great game either. It's just the Packers had so much worse of a game. It's just so much uglier. Like, the Eagles, they had many opportunities to put the Packers away early, but they just didn't, and they kind of leaned on Saquon Barkley and the Packers making more mistakes just to wait out the game, basically. And they're gonna go on to play the Rams, who, in a big upset, they beat the Vikings, who have had the most wins for a wild card team in NFL history.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm a Los Angeles Rams truther, even since their 1-4 start. And I am also a Minnesota Vikings hater.
Oh, so look at that.
I called them pretenders for
Hey.
God knows how many weeks. So this was a great game to watch for me because they just got dismantled.
They did 27-9.
And it's also on the strength of the Rams' defense and specifically their defensive line, which has been headlined by rookies Braden Fisk and Jared Verse, who got drafted round 1 and 2 this year by the Rams. So great pickups from them, both of which were players like coming out of this draft cycle who I heavily planted my flag on. So it's very nice to see
Nice,
my
look at that. Ball.
I feel good about that. It made me smile. Especially Jared Verse, great edge rusher. He's getting some defensive rookie of the year chatter. So it's good to see them have some success because, when you adopt a player coming out of a draft cycle, they kind of feel like sons to you.
They do.
They kind of feel like sons. So it's good to see my two boys getting after the quarterback, especially for a Packer rival team. So Vikings, get out of here. Glad to see you go. Brian Flores can only whip up so many blitz packages before it comes to an end.
Of course, I was going to say, the Rams, that defense was just dominating.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I'm reading here, they sacked 9 times, which actually comes to be tied for the most in a playoff game in NFL history.
Yeah, shout out to them.
So,
and they also did it in a neutral environment. Of course, they couldn't play in L.A. They were playing in, I believe, Arizona.
There's something going on in California. I'm not sure what it is.
Wildfire, yeah.
And then, of course, the only 2 teams not in action were the Lions, yay, and the Chiefs. Of course, it'll be this Saturday, Texans visiting the number 1 ranked Chiefs. That's at 4:30, and then after that game, it's Commanders and Lions. So Texans, Chiefs, Commanders, Lions. What are your picks?
My picks, sorry, Commanders. Jaden Daniels, you're having a great year. We'll see if you can pull out some magic, but I don't know. The Lions are just looking like a juggernaut this year. Everything they do, like Ben Johnson whipping up plays on the offense. Have you seen that one play he drew up where they had a designed trip?
Yeah, I saw that come across my feed.
They drew up a play where the quarterback, Jared Goff, he would pretend to trip.
Yep.
He almost fall over once he took the snap just to fake out the defense and chuck it deep, and it worked. Ben Johnson, the mastermind you are. Commanders, sorry, I don't have you this upcoming weekend, and I think this next upcoming one, Texans versus Chiefs, should also be interesting. Of course, with this Texans up-and-coming young defense. However, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and the black magic that they constantly brew up week to week.
Absurd.
We know that they're going to win by a field goal, and I'm just going to learn to have to accept that.
We trumped up penalties throughout the game, all that fun stuff. Also, Rams, Eagles on Sunday, as well as the Ravens and Bills afterwards. Rams at Eagles, Ravens at Bills. Who do you think is coming out of that Sunday?
We'll start with Rams, Eagles. As I already said before, I'm a big Rams truther. And why not ride with my guys? Jared Verse, take me home. Yeah, so I have Rams over Eagles. Of course, I said Eagles also had a very ugly game. Their passing game has been very mucky, to say the least. And just throughout the entire season, and especially this last game, they're going to be looking to ride Saquon Barkley, of course. So this Rams defense, clutch up for me. Clutch up for me.
And Ravens and Bills, that'll be a good game to watch.
Yep, that is certainly game of the week.
Definitely.
I'd say for most people, as you have your top two MVP candidates. Who do you have for MVP, by the way, Josh Allen or Lamar?
That's tough. I was reading, because I'm 85 years old. I was reading the paper the other day. And they both made, the writer made really good case for Allen, but then the last paragraph he mentioned a bunch of Lamar Jackson stats, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So I'm not unhappy if it goes to one of those two. I think both of them deserve it. I'm a Bills fan. I like to see Josh Allen do it, but like it's a cooler story if Lamar Jackson gets it.
Yeah, I personally believe Lamar has had the better season, and there's been in the past where they've split the MVP between I think it was McNair and Manning in the past. So we'll see if that's an option that they decide to pursue this year. But another issue is voter fatigue. Lamar's already won 2 MVPs, of course. Josh Allen yet to win his first. So we'll see if that plays a factor. But I do have the Ravens coming out of this game. I think they have a very well-rounded team, great defense. Well, both teams do, but this honestly could go either way. I'm willing to bite my tongue here. If you were to say that you have the Bills coming out and winning, like, I'm not going to argue with you. They're both two great teams, and they're both going to lose to the Chiefs in the end by a field goal and 10 holding penalties.
Oh, the script. Someone burn it.
Oh, the script.
Of course. And then whoever goes on to win those 4 matchups, Championship Sunday is next week, January 26th. And then the Super Bowl is Sunday, February 9th. Kendrick Lamar doing the halftime for that. That'll be a good show.
Yeah. You have any personal favorite halftime performances?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let me think. Trying to ones I remember watching live. It's because I'm getting classic ones. Like everyone's seen Prince.
Right.
That was a classic one. A lot of people didn't like. Again, I'm an old man, so I like these ones. Looking back at them, a lot of people didn't like there's like that 5-year stretch where they chose only like aging rock stars to do it. They had the Rolling Stones do it. They had McCartney do it. They had Springsteen. I think was probably maybe my favorite. Springsteen was really good. But then the more recent ones haven't been like that bad. Yeah. Like I've enjoyed most halftime shows. Rihanna's was really good.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the Weeknd's. I think that weird one where it's like Bruno Mars and the Chili Peppers and Coldplay or whatever combination.
That's actually the one I was gonna say.
I was like, I like that one. I remember that one.
Beyonce.
Yeah. Okay. There.
And then Bruno Mars had the little dance battle with Beyonce. I thought that was fantastic. That was one of my favorites. I believe that was in San Francisco, where it was like open air and it was daytime. Yeah, that was a really good one. Bruno Mars and Beyonce are both fantastic performers of our generation. Another one, I'm a big like R&B guy.
Yeah.
That's my R&B is my genre of choice, especially old school R&B, so I really liked the Usher one.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big Usher fan. He's one of my
good call.
favorite artists.
Good call. I like Usher.
Even though he's a little washed up these days, but
he's getting up there.
And he didn't just sing like the pop dance tracks, he went into his R&B cuts too. He went on his roller skates, which is like his signature like Vegas performer gimmick. So it was good to see he had like some cameos, Jermaine Dupri and her both made appearances. That was I really liked that one. That was good. Rihanna, even though like she was pregnant, so she couldn't really move.
Yeah, but they had a good production behind it.
Yeah, her dancers were really good. Like that one part where they were all on all fours on their back.
Yeah, that's
hip thrusts. Yeah, like,
content.
Yeah, the knee dexterity.
I could never. I'm trying to think of other halftime shows. Again, I'm the infamous Timberlake, Janet
Oh,
Jackson
yeah.
one. That was a moment
Mhm.
that no one just
Boob gate.
yes sir. And then then Janet Jackson kind of killed her career unjustifiably. Justice for Janet
Yeah.
Jackson there, but she got all the blame. Timberlake got none, and Timberlake did another one, didn't he?
Yeah, he did,
Yeah.
which is controversial.
Timberlake, nothing against the man, but he is an interesting character nowadays.
He
He's
is. Yeah.
certainly gotten into the press recently
Mm-hmm.
and all that fun stuff. And I'm trying to like, did they have halftime shows like in the first Super Bowls? Like when did halftime shows
I believe
start?
that started in like the late 80s.
I think like Michael Jackson
90s,
did
yeah.
one. I think maybe like
Michael Jackson was the first one.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that was in the 90s, I'm pretty sure.
You could probably hear my clacking
Yeah.
at the speaker. Halftime show performers lineage. Enter. List of Super Bowl halftime shows. Oh, 1960s. They had
Interesting.
they had like marching bands do it. So not
I
quite.
don't
Oh, that Ella Fitzgerald, 1972.
Oh, really?
Oh, the Queen of Jazz. Where's the first one that isn't like university marching bands? Looking through. Chubby Checker did 1988.
Hmm.
I think he's the guy who did the twist back in like the 50s. New Kids on the Block. Right here, I think we're going here. We got
There you
91 New Kids on the Block. Gloria Estefan, 92.
That's
Michael
cool.
Jackson, 93. I know everyone talks about Michael Jackson's
Yeah.
pretty good. And a couple country ones. Diana Ross. Blues Brothers did one
Hmm.
with ZZ Top. Ain't no way. And James Brown. Okay, they've got some
James
good
Brown.
lineup.
In the 90s?
In the night, I'm surprised he was still kicking.
Yeah, I know. Literally.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, U2. I remember U2 watching U2.
Oh, yeah?
2002. That was a good one. That's the post September 11th one.
Mhm.
They had the big drape with all the names who were
Yeah.
victims of 9/11
Mhm.
attacks, and it was
Yeah.
very, very emotional performance out of U2. Then you had Janet Jackson, Timberlake, and right after Boobgate, then they got into the aging rock stars era. McCartney, Rolling Stones, Prince was really good. Tom Petty, I'm a Tom Petty guy, but it's just Tom Petty 2008. That's just your boomer
Right.
rock at that point.
Yeah.
Springsteen's I thought was really good.
Mhm.
And then the Who at 2010, whose prime was 1970.
Yeah.
It was good. I mean, good set. Pinball Wizard, Bob O'Reilly, Who Are You? You Won't Get Fooled Again. And then after that, I guess they're going, all right, that's enough of 70-year-olds. And then Black Eyed Peas and Madonna and Beyonce and Bruno Mars and Katy Perry and Coldplay and all that fun
Oh,
stuff.
I remember the Katy Perry
Okay,
one.
that was that
She
Left Shark,
flying,
right?
Yeah, flying through the sky. Didn't it was Lady Gaga or no? Was it Miley? Ooh, who
Katy
was it?
Perry had Lenny Kravitz and Missy Elliott with her.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, Missy Elliott did come out. Yeah, I do remember that.
And so we're looking for another good halftime show from Kendrick Lamar. He's just going to play Not Like Us 5 times and call it a day. That's what I hope for.
Yeah.
Um,
A lot of people were asking for Lil Wayne since it's in New Orleans.
Yeah, I did
was
see
the
that.
Big,
And Lil Wayne
discourse.
Lil Wayne was kind of upset he didn't get it.
Yeah. I think Lil Wayne, he could still show up.
I
mean,
hope he shows up.
It's not over.
Like he's a legend, I'd
Mhm.
say, especially Lil Wayne
yeah,
kind of
he's classic.
paved the way. He's classic. You got to
Mhm.
have Lil Wayne. It's New Orleans. You got to
Mhm.
incorporate some Wayne in there.
Exactly.
But nonetheless, we will see what happens during that game too. Who makes that game, and of course, all the fun. Super Bowl's. It's turned from a sporting event to a spectacle to
Mhm.
like an entertainment enterprise. Because you have the what should be the two best football teams going at it, which is
Right.
good in and of
Mhm.
itself. But then you also have the halftime show, which turned to a pop culture phenomenon
Yeah.
of its own. Then you even have like the advertisements
Mhm.
being turned into entertainment.
It's like a big like cultural thing. Like
Yeah.
Super Bowl ads. That's like it's a term.
Exactly. You
It's
got to
like-
get the Super Bowl ads, and they cost like $5 million to air, like 10 seconds
Yeah,
of
and
an
then the
ad.
live ads too.
Yeah.
Like you don't see that for any other.
No. And then it's it's Super Bowl parties, and everyone gets together on a Sunday. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Everyone
Yep.
cancels plans
prop
Monday.
bets.
You got to
Mhm.
hit those parlays. I'm sure that's probably Bet365's most
Yeah.
busiest day
For sure.
of the year.
I think the reason for that is like it's the only final with no series.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a good
it's just that's why you can really base everything around this one game.
The one and
because
done.
You're not spreading it out over 7.
No, it's not best of 7, NBA, NFL, MLB. It's just, all right, you guys get one match.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, soccer or football kind of style
Yeah.
of playoffs.
I really prefer it, to be honest,
It's tough because, like,
in my opinion.
I think I agree with that. Like, I like my 7-game series. I like my hard-fought Stanley Cup finals, like my hard-fought NBA finals. But something just so kind of, dramatic
Yeah, exactly.
as the one game. It's everything hinges on it, and mistakes and errors and miracles and glory.
Exactly, yeah.
It's quite a spectacle. So I kind of do like that.
And it breeds just like iconic moments because
does.
there's no takebacks,
No, yeah, it's
There's
like
there's no we dropped game 1. Let's come back for game 2. No.
every team that plays in a 7-game series, they mostly sweeps are rare. They end up losing one of the games.
Right.
They can just go, okay, we lost game 2. All right, we'll still win the series 4-2.
Yeah.
Right, but Super Bowl, it's like, oh, you lose a game. All right, congratulations, you're no longer the champions.
Yeah. I love the stakes that come with the one game series.
Yeah, the 1-game series in the Super Bowl, quite dramatic. Of course, NBA has 7-game series, and speaking of the NBA, of course, the Raptors find themselves in the win column. But do we want them to be?
That's a good question. Do you believe in tanking or do you believe in winning culture?
I believe in ethical tanking. And that was the talking point of the Raptors early on. October,
Ethical
November,
tanking.
December. It was December. It was ethical tanking because they were losing games, and the roster is not as strong as other teams' roster. But they were trying, and they were entertaining. They were arguably, like, not even Canadian bias, they're arguably the most entertaining team in the league to watch lose games throughout, October, November especially, and kind of something around the start of December into this year. They've started losing games just, not entertaining. They've started just being blown out, not having a lot of effort. And maybe that's, kind of the honeymoon state of the, the first 20 games of the season kind of wearing off, now you're into the dog days, the middle of the season.
Yeah, because losing gets old.
Losing does get old. And as much as, like, you can lose by 2 points or lose by 30 points, you're still losing.
Yeah, still sucks for the guys on the team. And it as much as they want to see, as much as they want to say, we're keeping our heads high, like 9 when you're 10-31, it takes a toll on you. But the ethical tank continues. Unfortunately, we won. It feels like a loss against the number 2 Celtics, which is surprising since we lost by 50 to them like a week ago.
What happened there? What changed?
Yeah, I don't know. So coach said something in the locker room.
I guess.
Gave them Michael's secret water.
They give it a Space Jam treatment.
But as it stands, we're number 4 in the tank rankings, 12.5% for number 1 overall pick, 48.1% for top 4. And of course, this draft is headlined by a big 3 right at the top of Ace Bailey from Rutgers, along with Dylan Harper from the same team, and headlined by number 1 consensus, Cooper Flagg, who has been coveted by many teams here that are tanking in Operation Capture the Flag. So the Duke prospect, number 1, of course, on the draft boards. He's had a stellar season in his freshman year. I believe he dropped 41 like a couple days ago in college.
Wow.
Which is insane to do. So Raptors, keep losing, man.
keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
Of course, it's the Wizards, who have the highest probability of getting only 6 wins so far in the season. They're 6-33. Raptors 10-31.
The greatest tankers of our generation, the Washington Wizards.
Will they ever win?
Oh, poverty. Oh, poverty. At least they have the Commanders.
True. There's something to look forward to if you're a Washington sports fan. The Charlotte Hornets, 9-28, 1 win behind the Raptors. Then you also have the Jazz and Pelicans, also tied 10 wins apiece with the Raptors. But varying games played: Jazz 10-29, Pelicans 10-32, Raptors 10-31, and then Charlotte and Washington 9 wins and 6 wins respectively. Of course, at the top of the standings, it's the Cavaliers and the Celtics. Of course, Cavaliers kind of running away with it. 6 more wins than the Celtics. 34-6. So 34 wins out of 40 games is nothing to shake a stick at.
And tied with OKC, who I believe beat them last night. Yeah, OKC did beat Cleveland, and that was a big game for media storylines.
Definitely.
Potential finals preview. Cleveland, they've been coming out looking good. Not everybody expected them to be number one.
No.
Most people were expecting Boston, but Cleveland looking very strong, especially on the defensive end, anchored by Twin Towers there with Evan Mobley, Jared Allen protecting the rim. And they've been running some very clean, just textbook basketball. And OKC, off the strength of their squad, Hartenstein come back from injury. They were without like a center for the longest time, extended amount of time. I'm not sure who their backup was. I forget who it is. But he was hurt as well. So they were running small ball for basically like 2 months. And now that they have their bigs back, it's looked really good. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, of course, still up there, top 3 MVP candidate. And just bringing it back to the Raptors, even though we are losing, I do like the core that we've set up here with, especially with Barrett. Barrett, yeah, he's given me a lot of hope. He's had the breakout season that I think a lot of Raptors fans have been hoping for, and his role as a ball handler, a primary ball handler, as both a scorer and a distributor. He's grown a lot as a distributor. He hadn't had the opportunity to do that a lot in New York. He's more of a spot-up scorer kind of guy. But Coach Rajakovic, he's been able to utilize him more to Barrett's strengths and what he was doing back in Duke when he was a top 3 draft prospect. So I think he can continue to grow. And there's been a lot of injuries this year too, especially in that core. We haven't seen them on the floor together all that much. I think they've only played maybe 15 games together.
It sure seems like it, and maybe even seems less.
Seems about right.
Yeah, because there's been injuries just littered throughout that lineup.
Which kind of sucks because this year was supposed to be like an evaluative year, right, for that core. And you can't really make a judgment when you have such like a small sample size of your big 3 together. And as for fit, this upcoming draft, I really like Ace Bailey. He's a 6'10". He's a little raw as a prospect, but that's okay. It fits the timeline. There's a lot of upside there as a scorer, especially just a raw scorer, bucket getter that I think the Raptors need, because Dylan Harper, he's a great engine to an offense as like a 6'6" guard. He's really great running the pick and roll, distributing, driving to the hoop, but that's something I think we already kind of have. We have 3 guys actually that could like bring the ball up the court and kind of be the focal point of your offense. Whereas I think Ace Bailey or Cooper Flagg are kind of guys that can just complement this current core that we have even more and just take them to the next level, because they can shoot and they can score on all 3 levels, and they have the length to kind of be versatile on defense, which is I know something that Masai really values, length on defense, because I don't know if you remember, there's a few years there where we had a Project 6'9", where we didn't have guards, we didn't have centers. All we had were 6'9" bigs, that or 6'9" wings.
Yep.
They could kind of shoot
occasionally.
That could kind of dribble. Maybe. That could kind of do everything. But they were really just there to be like long arms on defense, get out and transition. And yeah, we had a lot of those guys. Stanley Johnson, Rondé Hollis-Jefferson.
Throwbacks.
Yeah, the deep cuts there. Real ones remember Matt Thomas, number 21, 3-point sharpshooter. Real ones know.
It's always going back to that draft class, and Cooper Flagg projected number 1. I first heard Ace Bailey, who I think is a good basketball player too, but kind of my hockey centrism, because Ace Bailey, when I hear that name, there is an old 1920s hockey player named Ace Bailey.
Deep cut.
Yeah, I know, and I'm like, because I'm just like I read about hockey and hockey history and all that, and I'm like, Ace Bailey, is he coming back?
He's alive?
He's alive, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm like, am I going crazy? So I googled him now, and I'm like, I'm not crazy. Ace Bailey played 8 seasons for the Maple Leafs, 1926 to 1933. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, so Ace Bailey's coming back, baby.
He's coming home. He's coming home. Is that a sign?
It might be. Yeah. It might be a sign from the Fates himself.
Toronto heritage.
It's in the blood.
It's written.
It's written in the stars.
Yeah.
It's like poetry. It rhymes. Of course. You follow, of course, it's baseball off season for the MLB.
Yeah.
Blue Jays, of course, last week. Talked about it on the show a bit. I had a caller, a big baseball fan. And we talked about it a bit. The Vladimir Guerrero Jr. saga with the Blue Jays. Avoiding arbitration, getting a 1-year extension for 2025. But it's no secret that he wants a lot of money. And Rogers Blue Jays are, bathing in money. Yep. And they just don't want to give it to him. And so
I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
And Blue Jays, again, it's strange because if you're Vladimir Guerrero Jr., you've seen the Blue Jays are willing to shell out for these free agents. The past couple seasons they've been in the free agency market, unable to attract any of them. But the reports are like they're ready to pay like $750 million contracts to these guys. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is like, I play for you currently, and I'm almost basically as good as them.
Yeah.
And you're only willing to shell out $500 million for me. Like, what's going on there? And so there's rumors of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He was talking to the Mets. He was talking to maybe the Red Sox, all this fun stuff. But he's a Blue Jay for one more season. But after this coming season, it is anyone's guess. I'm not very optimistic.
Yeah.
The Blue Jays front office has not given me much optimism for the past couple of years. And
I don't know if I can say Ross Atkins' nickname on air.
You cannot, but we'll just it's Ross. That's all that is. Mark Shapiro too. That front office, they've been hinging their bets on this roster, and they've been they hinge the bets. They want to make this roster succeed, but they're not building.
Casino's winning.
Yeah, exactly. Say they want this roster to succeed, but they're not. They didn't build a successful roster.
Yeah, it's been rough, and let me just say this: if in this this Vladdy Guerrero saga, he's been one of the guys that's been here the whole time. If you lose him to the Red Sox, just hypothetically, you look at management and then you just say, what do we have now? Genuinely, what is there?
And Guerrero leaves, Bichette will leave too.
Yeah, we kind of dirtied up our farm system.
Yeah,
in the pursuit of winning ball games, which we haven't, so it's kind of mid down there.
Yeah,
you have a couple guys coming up, but past that, it's kind of thin. You look at your current roster, there's not a lot of mainstay guys that you think are going to be championship players that are going to be with you for a long time. So if you can't keep your star, then what are we as a ball team?
You're going back to back to the drawing board, back to day one. You're kind of starting to read this rebuild all over again.
What's your identity? Past your core few guys.
You wear blue.
Oh, big. That's big. This is big for our title aspirations. And we're Jays. We're Birds.
That's basically all the identity would be if you lose someone like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., which, again, he did sign, but all signs are pointing to a Guerrero-less Jays in the future, and that's not what they'll say. They'll say, "Oh yeah, no, we're confident that he's going to be a member of our team for a long time. We're going to build a championship team around these players, Bichette and Guerrero mainly." And it just hasn't happened. The management has made some shockingly poor decisions. They're skipped. Their manager somehow, frankly, still has a job, and it's just been not fun. If you've been a Blue Jays fan, this offseason hasn't changed any of that. Incoming, I think February is spring training and March and all that fun stuff. And you get into April and the start of the season, so you can't really make too many prejudgments before the actual season starts. But they are not, they're not set up for success.
No, they're not.
And then, of course, the other Toronto team. Well, I mean, there's a couple of Toronto teams, actually. TFC isn't playing. Toronto Rock is playing. I haven't been keeping up with them as much as I should. But Toronto Maple Leafs, the other the big four sports leagues, the NHL, they lost a couple recently. I haven't actually been keeping up with them. I brought them up. I actually haven't been keeping up with them. They were on a 4-game losing streak. I think they played last night. We'll see if they won. And they won against, it was overtime win against New Jersey Devils. Sheldon Keefe's return to Toronto, the former Leafs head coach, now the coach of the Devils.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he made his return to Toronto. They gave him a nice, video,
Tribute.
hype board tribute thing. Sheldon Keefe, a very divisive figure in Toronto. I was a Sheldon Keefe naysayer since he got the job. But him and the Devils are doing quite well. They're on top of the Metro, 26-15-6. The Leafs, 28-16-2. The Leafs atop of the Atlantic, too. So it's another Leafs, excellent regular season.
Yeah, who's gonna say it?
That's my response to the Leafs at playoff aspirations. Because, again, basically since 2020, really, so maybe 2019, basically since Matthews and Marner got developed, 2020, 2021, it's been, okay, yeah, you guys have a great regular season. You could win all 82 games. You could have the single greatest regular season game in the history of the goddamn sport. However, you're still going to bow out in round one, probably to the Bruins.
Yep.
And it's like, wow, I love this team.
Hey, man, we made it one time.
We did.
We caught lightning in a bottle.
We did.
And then we let it out.
But we made it past round one.
Yeah, that's all that matters. That's a cup, in my opinion.
That's throw a parade.
Yeah, organize it. Yeah. Can we have like a 5-year memorial parade for that? Like,
we should.
5-year anniversary of that time we made it out of round one. Because I feel like that's as significant as a cup.
Yeah, I would say put it in the rafters. Make a banner.
Put it in the rafters.
Put it in the rafters, right next to the 1967 most recent
playoff series.
Stanley Cup, of course. It's quite absurd that, of course, Toronto Maple Leafs, the biggest sports team in the sport.
Yeah.
They have the biggest market base. I think they're the most valued franchise by Forbes. And for the team to experience this incredible, or Rogers to experience this incredible revenue, and having not won a championship since there were 6 teams in the league. It's a rough go of it elsewhere for Canadian NHL teams around the board. Canadians find themselves in the wild card mix, which is kind of, no one really, you wanted them to, but no one really expected them to, but they've been crazy hot to start this year. So the Canadians find themselves in the wild card mix. Senators are making their way into it too, which Senators, if you're a Senators fan, you haven't had anything to cheer about for about the past 8 years. But finally, it looks like their kind of retool has paid off somewhat. They're not in a firm playoff position at all, but they're also in a wild card mix. The Winnipeg Jets, again, one of the more underrated teams in the league, don't get a lot of attention. They are from Manitoba. However, they are, I think, second or first in the Central. I think they're battling with Minnesota. And the Jets, of course, Connor Hellebuyck, their goalie, is a perennial Vezina candidate. And they have a very, very strong team. Other Canadian teams, Vancouver Canucks, everything that could go wrong is going wrong for the Vancouver Canucks. Still find themselves in a Western wildcard spot. Kind of shockingly due to drama on ice and off ice. They've had injuries. Everyone's been injured. Pedersen and Miller hate each other's guts, apparently. That's a fun story. There's trade rumors about most of everyone on the team, but they're still finding ways to still stay in the mix. So if they finally get everyone healthy and they're able to kind of quash backstage drama and start winning some games, and then this will just be all in the rearview mirror.
Hey, as long as you have the ticket to the dance.
It's what you're saying.
Yeah.
As long as you're there, anything can happen. And then Alberta teams, Oilers, doing well. They're the Oilers. They have McDavid, they have Draisaitl. You expect them to do well. It'll be another playoff to watch for the Oilers, kind of like Leafs too, where again you can have the best regular season in the world, but it's what you do in the playoffs that count.
For sure.
Of course, the Oilers, notably Stanley Cup finalists last year, bowing out in 7, nearly making the reverse sweep. You're expecting more playoff success from McDavid and co. And the Flames doing better than, I'm a Flames guy, doing better than anyone expected. They're in the playoff mix too. I think they're in a wild card position. Them and Vancouver are kind of battling out for the wild card. Flames not expected to do well at all. Expected to be sellers. Expected to be near the bottom of the league, but they find ways to get it done. Dustin Wolf, rookie goaltender, is doing absolutely phenomenal. Mackenzie Weegar on the blue line. Huberdeau, they gave a big contract, gave a big trade to a couple seasons ago, and it looks awful, but it looks slightly less awful now. He's kind of changed his style from being a kind of a high-scoring winger to more of a power forward, which has worked well. He's not getting the point production you'd want or you have wanted the past couple of years, and that he put up on Florida before trading for him. But the Flames, whatever they're doing, seems to be marginally working, and they shouldn't be near a playoff spot, but they are. So, thumbs up. But most Canadian NHL teams are either in a playoff spot or battling for a playoff spot.
Yeah,
There's
it's in the
no
mix.
there's none that are
stinkers,
which is good because theoretically or historically, there's always been a couple. Senders have always been near the bottom league. Canadians that had a miraculous Stanley Cup final run a couple years ago, but since then they were bottom feeders. You expect the Leafs, you expect the Jets, you expect the Oilers to do well. Canucks finished top of their division last year. But it's nice to see all 7 Canadian NHL teams in the mix. So and then of course Saturday, of course, every team is in action. The Saturday Hockey Day in Canada, which is always fun, and it's whole nationwide coverage on CBC and Sportsnet.
Nice.
And then Hockey Day in Canada too. Also for Laurier, as both teams are in action on Hockey Day in Canada. So it's kind of look how that worked out.
Yeah.
Huh? The women's team plays at 3 p.m. and then the men's team at 7 p.m. So Hockey Day in Canada festivities. You can watch professional sports. You can also watch local sports. A lot of hockey if you're a hockey fan.
A lot of hockey.
There's a lot of hockey, a lot of football on tap this weekend too.
Football on tap.
A lot of football. Basketball is always on. Baseball notably isn't. Curling is probably on. This is kind of curling season now, coming into January and February. That's usually when the tournaments get underway.
Where do you watch curling?
It's occasionally on TV if there's nothing else going on. Occasionally, you see darts or something like that. You're like, all right.
The golf of the winter.
Exactly. There's darts. They have poker.
Oh, yeah. I've caught that a few times.
I'm like, wild. What a sport, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you, sports channels, cable.
No, they're crazy. They're operating on levels that are beyond us, man.
Dude, I think I'm good at poker, and then I watch actual poker players, and I'm like, because when you're playing poker with your friends, you know them, you kind of guess you're probably bluffing here.
Meanwhile, they're 3 techniques deep.
I know, and then
each other's
professional poker, it's
eyebrows.
reverse psychology, and I'm like, this is insane.
Y'all got it. Just
and
take my money.
I know.
Just take my
and I'm
money.
like, if I have to bet my life on you're definitely bluffing. Turns out he has ace pair. He has 5 aces somehow. I mean, I have nothing to deck. Holy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would lose my money very quickly. That's why I don't gamble. I've never gotten into sports gambling.
Yeah.
I'm a very, very unlucky person.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I would just lose money.
For me, I just feel like sports betting would just detract from my love of the game, man.
Yeah, because now you have finances riding on it. It's not just you're watching the game because you like the team and you like the sport and you appreciate the chess match between the two teams. Now it's if my parlay doesn't hit, I'm going up to the 10th floor. It's actually
isn't my love stake enough?
You'd think, right? Isn't my just passion for the team and passion for the game enough to be entertained by this? But no, you have to introduce my wallet into this. What's going on?
If I can cry at the end of a game without betting money, that's the symbol of my love.
That's true fanmanship there. But
exactly. I did that in 2015 NFC Championship game versus the Seahawks.
Oh, wow.
John Bostic, the onside kick sailed through his hands, bounced off his face mask, recovered by the Seahawks. They march down and tie the game. It goes to overtime. The Seahawks win the toss. They march down the field and score. And I'm crying in my aunt's basement.
That's just that's a canon event. That's an emotionally charged event for a young man.
I'll never forget.
No,
never forget.
That's etched in your memory.
You know, there was a fake field goal in that game too.
There's a fake field goal.
There was a fake field goal.
What's the difference between a real and a fake field goal?
They pretended they were gonna kick the field goal. They flipped it to the kicker, and he threw a touchdown pass.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, why did I bring that up? Now I'm
man,
sad in the
that you just ruined your day.
Yeah, it's a terrible end to this show.
Oh man, that's As we kind of wrap it up here, that's just a very, very tragic. I'm sure everyone, every sports fan kind of has those moments where they're like, "What are you doing? How'd you give that up?"
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of sports because it's jubilation. It's either what what did Billy Joel say? If we're only what our situations hand us, it's either sadness or euphoria. It's either you're euphoric, jubilation, or you're in bed for a week.
Precisely. Yeah. There's a lot of those moments I could think of for like a lot of fan bases. The double doink for the Bears.
Oh, double
The
doink.
double doink.
The double doink.
For the Patriots, has to be the helmet catch.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, pull it
from
to your
the
helmet.
Giants,
Pull it
yeah.
to your helmet.
David Tyree. Another one for the Patriots is quite recently when Mac Jones threw away or it wasn't Mac Jones, it was Nelson Aguilar. He threw away a pick in a tie game as time expired, and Chandler Jones stiff-armed Mac Jones in the face on the way to the end zone. Yeah, and they could have just taken a knee and took it to overtime.
Could have done it.
But
Alas.
you had to.
No, we have a sad one. There we go.
Ah.
And on that note, we love the Radio Laurier soundboard, and we love Gold and Bold.
We love Gold and
We
Bold.
love Gold and Bold. Is there anything you love more than Gold and Bold?
My roommate John. It's
Roommate
his
John?
birthday today.
Oh, cool. Well,
Yeah,
happy birthday, John.
Shout out John. It's
What's his birthday?
big 19.
Oh, big 19.
It's a big one.
That's a big year.
Yeah, we're going out
It's going to be
tonight.
a big weekend,
It's gonna
eh?
be a big
Oh,
weekend,
man.
yeah.
Congratulations, John, on making it to the big one. Party hard. You deserve it. Big 19. Happy birthday, roommate John. And that being said, thank you for listening to Gold and Bold here on Radio Laurier. We'll return to some music to play you out for the rest of this Friday later tonight at 6. You can hop back on here or just keep listening. At 6 p.m., we'll host the women's basketball team as the visiting Algoma Thunderbirds, who are 1-10. So it should be a good game and a win on paper for the Golden Hawks. And then at 8 p.m., it's the men's basketball team who are 4-8. They take on, again, the visiting men's team from Algoma. That's a winless 0-11 Algoma team. So, again, it should be a win on paper for the Golden Hawks, but anything can happen in the OUA. You can't count any teams out, and you can't count any teams in. And it'll be 2 exciting games, women's basketball, men's basketball, 6 and 8 p.m. here on Radio Laurier. If you want the visual stream, you can also hop on to OUA TV. And then tomorrow, Hockey Day in Canada, both women's and men's hockey teams in action, and both women's and men's basketball teams also in action. All of that fun stuff coming up on the weekend for Radio Laurier Sports. And with that, and for Zach, my name's Ian Bailey. Thank you for listening, and have a great afternoon.